TGCRequiem, we're back with match 4 for Abzan Traverse. We're going to be on the draw this game. This isn't a terrible hand. It's got a lot of utility depending on what we're playing against. Could be a really good hand if we end up playing against Dredge or something like that. Burn, perhaps. But as it is, like, it's a pretty average to not great hand. We are on the draw, though, so we could draw into something a little stronger. I think I'm going to keep this. So probably looking at maybe Storm. I have a buddy who plays Storm. Played him last night. Let's see, what do we want to do here? We have the choice, if it's Storm, of possibly traversing into, you know, another basic if we needed to get something down fast, such as a Scavenging Ooze. Let's go ahead and cast the bauble here. Just take a peek at what our opponent has on top. Maybe we'll get a little, yeah, sleight of hand. I'm almost certain our opponent is on Storm at this point, so I'm going to go ahead and traverse for a forest. The Bajuka Bog actually has extra utility against Storm as well, and so what we're going to do is we're going to try and get our Scavenging Ooze, eat away all their enablers, Bajuka Bog them if they get too fast on us. Alright, so opponent has got a polluted delta. There's a small chance they're Grixis Shadow. Sorry, not Grixis Shadow, but Grixis Reanimator, which is a deck I like to play as well. Sleight of Hand is totally played there, so it wouldn't be unreasonable, and it would be a lot more in line with the fact that they're not playing anything. If we get a Remand here, I'm going to, again, just assume we are playing against Storm. Yep. Yep, so they're just trying to set themselves up here, but we're in a pretty good shape. We can traverse into a swamp and kill Baral or whatever next turn if we need to. Don't feel like I should be very threatened here. Just going to go ahead and traverse. Go get a swamp. And then we're going to jam Skoos again. It's possible we're going to run into back-to-back Remands, which is pretty rare since they usually only have 2 in the deck. It's pretty great if this is what's happening. Awesome. So they usually only have 2 in the deck. They're also in a spot, though, where we're not really ready to jam Bajuka Bog, but we can Fatal Push or Abrupt Decay next turn. Knowing their Remands are already used up, you know, we're a little less stressed about needing to fire off the Abrupt Decay, so we could... Yeah. So I think we need to wait one more turn before we Bajuka Bog here. Oh, Collective Brutality is awesome. What do we want to do here? Collective Brutality. Do we want to throw anything away? I think we want to hold the Abrupt Decay. We want to hold the Fatal Push. Liliana's pretty great here too. I don't want to get rid of any of these cards. I think we're going to end up getting rid of Kalitas here. It is the card we need the least. We could get rid of a removal spell. I really want to make sure we're holding on to one. So Gifts Ungiven is what we want to get rid of. If they play Baral next turn, they can Manamorphose, but they really can't do anything too crazy. So we are going to take Gifts here. And then just play the Skoos. Ideally, we'll get to eat the Electromancer before we Bojuka Bog. Maybe even the Baral and the Electromancer, which will allow us to put on a bit of a threat. So they could Manamorphose here now if they wanted, but they probably are more likely to wait one turn. Ooh, here we go. They're gonna just go for it. They don't really have a choice, I don't think. So they need to play the Manamorphose. Then they're going to Past in Flames. They get to play Manamorphose, Ritual, Manamorphose again. So the thing is the Bojuka Bog really wouldn't even have done a whole lot prior to this turn anyway. We know all three cards in their hand, which means both rituals are going in the graveyard, which means, well, I guess if they have a Manamorphose, they could still cast Past in Flames, but they wouldn't be able to continue their chain. So both rituals will be going into the graveyard here. Suppose they would maybe get a basic land as well. They could play a land that would keep their chain going. This is excellent. Don't really care about Empty the Warrens. So if they had gotten a basic there, they would have been able to chain off, and I think they would have been able to beat us this turn. However, because they did not, they're going to Manamorphose into Empty the Warrens, which is still pretty good. It's a lot of tokens. But I think we might be able to... No, there's nothing we can do about that, right? That's just too many tokens for us to handle. Not with Lingering Souls. Alright, so... So we need to kill Baral, eat one of the creatures, play Lingering Souls. Otherwise they could just... They can't really Past in Flames. So the question now is... Oh, damn it. I just totally screwed up the game. Oh my god. I totally just botched that. I needed to not eat anything there. I needed to wait till the next turn to... Oh, man. Crap, crap, crap. I'd have taken 11. So at this point, I just need to eat the Electromancer. Next turn we'll be able to cast Lingering Souls twice, but I don't know if that's going to be enough. I mean, they're swinging in for 13. There's almost no way we get through this. Take 13 next turn. Maybe the Brawl gives us more fodder. Fortunate we don't have a main deck Maelstrom Pulse. Kalitas would have given us a small chance. But I still think that's too much, right? He has 13, we can block 5, actually has 14, or they have 14 again, we can block 5, 9, that's lethal, so we're just going to concede here. Thing is that playing Bojuka Bog earlier really wouldn't have done anything for us. I do think playing the Spirits potentially buys us another turn, but I don't know that it really is going to do anything. Gonna Grape Shadows, Sleight of Hand. Yeah, there's just too many getting through. Nine short. Alrighty, well, I think it's quite funny. I actually removed my Eidolon of Rhetoric out of the sideboard because Storms kind of started to fade. So, yeah. I want to bring in Maelstrom Pulse, probably at least one Flaying Tendrils. We want a Reclamation Sage, possibly in case we need to deal with a Blood Moon. Collective Brutality is good here. And these three cards are pretty great. We're going to remove all of the paths. We're going to remove a Traverse. No, we're not. We need the Traverses for Blood Moon. Take out a couple Lingering Souls. I think Kalitas is probably too slow, but again, it potentially gives us an out to empty the Warrens. Reclamation Sages are only out to if they're playing Platinum Empyrean. Oh, no, Maelstrom Pulse. Okay, so that's fine. Scavengers is good. Liliana, the Last Hope is out, so that puts us at 61 here, right? I think we're just going to pull a Bauble at this point. Run that back. Got our yeah, there we go. Alright, so match, we're down 0-1. That's happened a few times. One of the benefits of the BG decks, though, is they're just so much better post board that you do end up grinding out quite a few wins out of a one start. This is not good enough. Surgical extraction is really good, but we don't have any way to kill anything or steal anything worth surgically extracting, so we will mulligan here. This is keepable, not great. Lingering Souls, we're going to go bottom here. Rather draw something more impactful in the matchup. So I think we're just going to lead on Marsh Flats. We do have to worry about Blood Moon on turn 2. We already have a white source. We could fetch for a black source, but we need the ability to cast Grim Flayer. And we'll have 2 shots of hitting Blood Moon if we need to. Normally I would prefer to fetch for a basic here. So, desperate, desperate, empty. So I think we actually need to take the desperates here. I'd prefer to take sleight of hand, but we may just need to go back-to-back desperate rituals just to stop them from emptying the warrens on us too early. So, let's see. Yeah, they can't, unless they drew another. Unless they drew another ritual, which is completely feasible. They have 6 more in their deck. They can't hit empty the warrens this turn. So we're going to hope that we can Inquisition the ritual away next turn. So opponent's taking a minute, which means they probably drew a ritual. They're just probably making the determination of whether or not they think emptying for like Storm of 3 or 4 is going to be good enough to win this match, this game, and thus the match. Maybe they're going to ritual into a Blood Moon here. Yeah, so they definitely hit the second one, so they're probably just going straight for the empty the warrens. So warrens of 3, perhaps. So this is going to lead them to getting 5, 4, 3, 2, yeah, so this is going to allow them to get quite a bit of damage. Oh, they have another ritual yet, so now they definitely have enough goblins to potentially do some damage. Oh, and they're going to bolt the flare on top of it. Alright, so we're really almost to a point where we are in next 2 turns. We need a Flaying Tendrils or Maelstrom Pulse or bust. Doesn't really matter what we are going to draw, so we're going to take a peek at what our opponent's going to draw. Baral. So it's really funny. I also had an F4. I almost pulled the second Flaying Tendrils and put Orzhov Pontiff back in the sideboard. And I would have been able to traverse for Orzhov Pontiff and wiped out the Goblin army that way. However, that's not happening. Yeah, and I'm pretty sure there's nothing else I can do at this point. Pretty sure that's just game. Our opponent's going to get us. Just trying to think through every possible line. I mean, if we play Lingering Souls, we're still gonna take lethal. Oh man, just not even joking. Like right before I started the league, I was almost like, you know what? I should pull one of those Flaying Tendrils for Orzhov Pontiff. Alright, well I guess I'll put Pontiff back in as an extra slot for the next one. That's part of the benefit of the Traverse package. Alright, well we'll lose this one. No 5-0 tonight, but we'll be back with the next match soon. On the left we'll have the next match in the league. On the right, the link to the playlist. And then in the middle, subscribe.